Lewis Beck, aka Justin Beck, and sorry for the delay in getting started. I'm working off a new computer. I got a fancy new computer, fancy new rig, and so I'm just trying to make sure everything's running smoothly. But it's very exciting for me because it's super powerful. So if you are here, if you've joined in, thank you for your patience. If you just are joining in, welcome. And for anyone who is here, it's always nice to kind of see who it is. So if you just lob in a little message to the chat saying, hello, what your name is, something like that, that'd be cool. Now, for those of you who have joined us before, welcome back. And for those of you that are joining us for the very first time, let me explain a little bit of what you're tuning into. So this is 343 Labs TV. And it is, we 343 Labs are a school based in New York City. And we also have a presence online, as you can see. And we are a music production school, and we teach Ableton, Logic, synthesis, mixing, mastering, songwriting, composition, arrangement, really like everything you can think of for, being a contemporary musician and producer. What's up, Josh Miles? Oh, wow. Jake Grasso in the house. What up, dude? Good to hear from you. And, yeah, so I'm a teacher at 343 Labs. And as you may have just noticed, one of my former students, Jacob, just tuned in. So that's super cool. And anyhow, this is the Logic Show. Right, so what I'm going to be doing every Wednesday is essentially just going through cool features in Logic and, showing you how you can use them practically for making a production. And so today what we're going to be exploring is something pretty cool, actually. Oh, you'll have to excuse me. This was a project I was working on last night. So... New session. What we're going to be doing today is focusing on one of the new features in the upgraded Logic 10.5 update, which is the grid view. I actually know the live loops view. Sorry, I guess that's what they're calling it. And so, for those of you, hey, what's up, Nefertiti? So for those of you who may have been kind of startled by the inclusion of this new feature. And for those of you who maybe weren't surprised, it comes from basically competition with Ableton, right? So, as you know, if you've ever used Ableton, Ableton has a very similar type of thing called the session view. Although, unlike Logic, it only works kind of independent. They only work independently of one another. So the cool thing with Logic is they made it so that you can use these two views together in conjunction with one another, which is actually like really useful. And I've actually already been doing that in some of my writing sessions recently. So what this is it's a very, very simple thing. It might look peculiar and intimidating if you haven't engaged with it before, but effectively all that it is instead of with the arrangement view, I guess as we're going to call it now, which is, or just, grid view, your main screen, where it works in, a linear fashion in terms of time, right? The live loops view works in an infinite fashion in terms of time, right? So there's no linearity. Okay. Just showing a black screen right now. Oh, that's not good. All right, sorry, having a little bit of a technical difficulty. I don't know why my screen isn't showing anything. Oh, that's why. There we go. Okay. Still learning the ropes a little bit over here. So that should be good now. If you guys don't see anything, please mention that as well. Anyhow, so like I was saying, the way that this works is that The live loops view is this infinite, in kind of like a non-time defined universe, so to speak, right? So normally we're composing linearly, right? So, we're working towards the right, and we're, allowing real time to pass, as well as bar values, right, that are compounding upon one another. Pretty basic. I mean, this is just the way that music composition works, right? But the cool thing is that what Ableton did, and what now Logic has, for all intents and purposes, kind of copied and bootlegged and kind of done their own version with, is they've created this live loops view, where what you can do is you can record and compose without any kind of conception about arrangement in and of itself. So you don't have to worry about structure. You don't have to worry about time. You only have to worry about the actual musical time of the thing that you're working with, repeating over and over. So this is cool when you just want to write an idea and you don't want to feel the pressure of, actually arranging it in any way. Sometimes, as I can attest to from over the years, it can be like a little bit daunting to feel like you have to make a track the second you start messing around with anything. But that couldn't be further from the truth, right? All we really want to do is be able to, compose and do it in such a way that we feel, empowered and inspired. And so, if you feel like that works for you with, with the other way of producing, which is, or rather, just the normal way of producing with Logic. Sorry, I'm just readjusting my setup here so I can monitor the chat a little more easily. There we go. Then, maybe live loops isn't for you. But the thing is that if you ever find yourself, a little bit like stuck, or I think that'd be the main word, stuck, in terms of creativity, then this is a really good option to explore. It's a new way to compose, especially for Logic users. And if you're new to Logic, I would highly recommend. This is not, hey, what's up, Daphne? This is not the tutorial specifically for 10.5, but we are exploring one of the new features called the live loop section. Anyhow, so I could talk to you about it all day, but the bottom line is, until I start demonstrating how it actually works, it doesn't really, it's not of any use to you. So it's very straightforward. Essentially, I pick an instrument, right? So I'll just take this electric piano right now. And all that I do is hit record. And you'll see that it starts recording already. So what all I got to do is this. Now, I'm really bad at the keyboard, and that keyboard is super tiny that I'm playing on. You can't really see it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up that recording now, right? And the first thing I'll do is I will quantize these so that they start at the correct moment in time. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust the start of the loop so that it's right there. So now what we're dealing with essentially is that this is the downbeat. So I come right here, I hit play, it just starts playing. Now if we hear it in time, you hear that it'll loop right back around in time. So that's cool. Now, I don't know what I'm doing with this last chord, so I'm just going to go like this. Extend these out a little bit. So what you got to do is, essentially, if you want the clip to start playing, that's why. All right, so it's a little bit, as you can see, I'm still, getting the hang of it entirely. But what you got to do is you click here, you click this button, and now your controls are going to control this area. So if I hit enter, right, it's not going to start from the start every time. What I have to do is I have to hit this stop button, and it brings me back to the start of the clip. And I have to then click here so that I may stay over in this view. A little bit, I'm not going to lie, it's a little bit annoying. You can trigger the start of the loop by clicking down here or by hitting the space key. But the reason this is cool, right, is that I now can create a new instrument while this is just playing on continuous loop, right? Let's just do the drum synth. Alright, so what I can do now is I can just hit record here. Alright. And when it loops back around, I will start recording my idea, my bass line. Cool. So I could have actually let it keep playing. It probably would have been better if I let it keep playing. So what I'll do is I'm going to adjust the start of my loop. Ooh, excuse me. So it starts right here. All right. Hit stop so it goes back to the beginning. Yeah, the sampler is a game changer. Never TD, it's awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and quantize these bad boys, and now we got kind of a little bit like of a Radiohead vibe, maybe. I'm gonna save this real quick because saving is your best friend when it comes to music production. So we'll call this Logic TV Live Loops. All right. Excuse me. So I'm also a huge, proponent of labeling class with me probably knows that, because I just force people to label everything rather. Okay, so this will be chords. Now, just to get my inspiration flowing, I'm gonna make that sound a little bit vibier. Favorite stock plugins, to be honest, in Logic is the E-piano. You can just get it to sound really like nice, you know, especially if you drive the gain. That's dirty. I like that. So I have no idea what style of music we're gonna make right now. I'm just gonna go piece by piece. Let's open up actually yeah, I'm gonna keep using drum synth. I kind of love this thing. It's growing on me increasingly. I also like this metal machine thing. You can actually make like weirdly realistic sounding percussion on here. All right, that's cool. So I can start messing around with that. So we hit stop. So go back to the start, and then I'm gonna hit. So we start from the beginning, right? Unfortunately. So hit stop. I'm gonna shrink this into time. And as you can see, I played it with velocity, which is a nice thing. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna quantize it, but I'm gonna use a cool control in Logic called the strength control. So what this allows me to do is basically decide how much I want each note to actually be quantized. So as you can see, when I turn the strength to 0, it doesn't quantize it at all. So what I like to do is usually quantize to about just over 50%, so that it maintains some of the human feel that I'm playing it with, but also it corrects my, you know, poor timing. All right, hold on a sec. That sounded terrible. is that pitch? Taking a class with me knows I have this crazy collection of every drum machine ever made, basically. So they're analog samples. So I'm gonna pull in a clap from the 808. That's not a clap. Okay, that's a clap. Cool. So I will go ahead and drag that into sampler, and this literally couldn't be more straightforward. All you do is drag it into sampler. And then it gives you this bad boy. Instead of hitting stop to stop recording, you can hit the R button and it'll allow the loop to keep playing, which is useful. And then what you can do is you can just, get what you were playing to fall into time before. Why is this guy being so mean to me? Well, all right, hold on a second. Okay, let's try this again. That's not even remotely doing what I want it to do. What? Okay, there's another way I could do this, although it's not as fun or easy. It would be to drag it right over to there. And drag these guys over. Why is it now suddenly doing this to me? Okay. All right, Logic, whatever you say. Sampler, right? I'm gonna put it onto one shot mode. So it plays the whole sample every time I trigger it. As opposed to which cuts it off. I want it to play with that little kind of fake reverb that the 808 clap has on it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and using Sound Toys Microshift, put it out wide. With the smearing. use a really cool plugin right now from FabFilter called the Saturn 2. Oh, what's up, Becky? And I'm going to use their transformer mode. Yep. To go from that to this. I'm going to go for some tape. Old tape. So now, a little bit more of an interesting tone that kind of blends in more with my chords. Again, what we're doing right now is we're composing in this view because I'm just trying to like write some music. I have no intention of, you know, where it's going to end up, anything like that. And so far I'm like, you know, into the idea. I'm going to keep trying to add some stuff now. Actually, I'm going to use sculpture. Stops, they all stop. And hit play right here, so I'll start playing at the same time. So I just played a lot of weird nonsense. The key is changing. It's hard to find something that is consistent necessarily on top of it. So what I just did was, you might have noticed I wasn't hitting record at all. Just grab some water. I wasn't hitting record at all, but I managed to record the MIDI I was playing. So that's what we call MIDI capture, and the way you do it is you just press Shift and R. It's probably my favorite function in Logic, if I'm being totally honest. Ableton also has it. There's this little box at the top of the screen. You click it after you play any MIDI notes. And so I find that for some reason I'm more creative when I'm not recording. I just like feel less pressure or something, you know? And so usually I'll just start playing with an idea, and since it's recording technically, I just keep playing until I get something that I kind of like, and then Yeah, and that's with it. So all I'll do is I'll take this over to the start. And on the individual level, right? So I can choose whether to have the whole section play from this arrangement view or to play from this, live loops view. Or alternatively, I can choose on an individual level. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose on an individual level to have the track play from there, right? This particular one. So now, I'm not going to waste your time trying to go through here figuring out which one is best. So what I'll do is what I was intending to do in the first place, which is I'm going to drag this into here. And that's one of the coolest things about this, is that you actually, these two views work with one another. They're like, the whole point is that I can actually drag this out here once I'm done with it and start arranging it if I want, right? Which is cool. So what I'm going to do is open this up. I'm gonna get a little like Massive Attack with it. I don't know if any of you guys know that group, but they're awesome. From the 90s. I fuck with that. D16 group, D16 audio group, I believe, yeah. Or just D16 group, I guess. It's such a sick reverb. Also, the newer version of it, Reverb 2, is even better, but it won't download onto my computer for some reason. It's really frustrating. So I haven't been able to use it. Just got this new computer, driving me crazy. All right. Now I'm gonna adjust the sound a little bit. that for a little bit. Over here. Why have you done this to me? Come on, I want it to play. Hold on a sec. Come on. Let's just get this off then for a second. Why is this giving me such a hard time? All right. I'll let it loop around first. I'm actually using my mini log synth to record MIDI, and it has a really cool pitch knob on it that I enjoy. So that's what I was doing that from. As you'll see, I get the pitch bend info is in there. Start from there. That be crazy? As crazy at least. So if I go like that, I can actually shrink all of the MIDI down, which is cool. So it's just a more subtle, yeah. What's happening is that the start of the note is over here, so I gotta put the start of the note there. Now I'm just jamming, right? So I still have no idea what this track's gonna sound like. the best thing about doing this view too, right? Is that like I don't have to press stop after I get my idea. I can just hit record right here. So this is now where this actually comes super handy, this view. So I just wrote this, like, at least for me, what I like think is a really cool kind of harmonization line for these turning these notes into chords that extend to other the voices in the other instruments. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to copy it over and drag it right there. Right? And I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to delete. there. So now over here I have the option, right? Now I'm going to come over here and hit Shift N. I'm going to rename this Alt Harmony. Sorry, that's really annoying. I was just holding. Okay, so now what I can do is I can click here, right? I'm going to hit play. And now I can also like prepare for later by clicking here. Throw some delay on. That's what I'm going to do. Correctly. This is the story of my life. Alright, so I'm gonna let it just loop around one time and get into the vibe. Oh, come on, let's get in time, guys. that's annoying. Alright, that should work. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually test. Let's call this. The reason I keep writing the word Phrygian is because I'm working in a mode called Phrygian, which is an kind of a altered version of the minor scale, which is why things sound so fucking weird, to be honest. I'm going to see if I can kind of make this into like a little acid lead. I don't know about that. Probably can make it work. I don't know if it's worth taking the time to make it work, though. I mean, the one thing that's happening is that the bends are absurdly, like, too bendy. So that's actually pretty easy to fix. You just pull those down. I only really want it to go like that. There we go. So I think if we take the reverb and put it onto here, it could sound pretty crazy. So let's see how that works. Essentially, right? And that's now where I can actually do something kind of cool, which is I can hit record. Sorry, excuse me. Didn't do the cool thing that I wanted it to. Let's try that one more time. Enable performance recording. There we go. So now as you can see what's happening. So when I hit enable performance recording, right? What's allowing me to do is record all of these into this view. Now I obviously don't want to record them all at once. So I'm going to hit stop. And I'm going to start with the thing I want to record. I'm going to hit record. Excuse me. Enable performance record. So here, let me undo that. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to improvise an arrangement purely based on feel. And just by triggering these notes, or these clips rather. And I didn't do that in a very effective way. So let me try that one more time. Man, driving me crazy. Okay. What? All right. Let's try this again. Gotta find what I want. There we go. Alright, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little mystified as to why that is not working. Anyone who actually has been doing this a lot, feel free to throw something into the chat. What the fuck? Oh, quantized start, that's why. I just want it to be on a quarter note. Let's try smart pickup, because maybe I'm being dumb. That's really frustrating. I don't know why that's happening with that particular one. Let's see. Very frustrating. Alright, let's try this totally from scratch. There we go. there you go. So what's cool about this now, right, is I take this off, I click this button, and boom. Now I have a loose arrangement, right? I definitely screwed a couple things up. That's fine. But what's happening now is that I actually can, like, the reason that I like this is that I actually, like, felt what I wanted to happen, right? Live. And that's what music is all about, is about the feeling that it imparts to you in the immediate moment, right? So, you know, what I like about this is that instead of, like, dragging things out in loops and continuing to press play and continuing to press play and jumping from here and jumping to there, what you can do is you can compose an entire track, and then you can basically record the loose structure that you want and, like, do it live, you know, so you really feel it. And then obviously you go back and you start fixing things. So, you know, we get this. For instance, like, I know that I want the clap to come in with the bass. Man, this fly is driving me fucking crazy. And, like, you know, you can see that certain things were not brought in at the right moment or whatever, because they're still working out the kinks in this craziness. And I can close this now and pretend like it never existed. Maybe I'll do it the other way around. Looks like I can maybe scoot everything forward a little bit. Thank you, Regine. Yeah, maybe now I can start playing with modulation and stuff. Close the envelope so it doesn't glide open continuously. Yeah, and so now, look, I'm like 3 minutes into an arrangement that feels compelling, that feels like it grows, that feels natural and organic, and I can't guarantee that I would have been able to come up with that had I not been had I not been primarily composing in this style. So this is, like probably the most meaningful update that Logic 10.5 has done in terms of creative workflow. Now, obviously, there's like the sampler and the quick sampler, and I see that Josh, is asking for kind of an exploration of the sampler versus the quick sampler. I did go over sampling in the sampler a few kind of sessions back, but I'm more than happy to do that again because it's something really, really cool, and the more I use it, the more useful I find it. Anyway, that is all the time I have. I've actually gone over the amount of time that I should have been doing because I got other things I got to do, believe it or not. And yeah, so thank you for tuning in to this episode of The Logic Show with myself, Lewis Beck, also known as Justin Beck. And of course, we are hosting this here on 343 Labs TV. And 343 Labs is a music production school based in New York City. We have a strong presence online as well, as you can see. And we offer courses in, Logic, Ableton, mixing, mastering, synthesis / sound design, composing, music theory. I mean, there's so many. I can't even remember them all. But we also have shows running on a daily basis, generally speaking, during the week. So, yeah, if you dig the content that we are doing, that I'm doing, or any other instructors are doing, I highly encourage you to subscribe to our channel because there's a lot of really good stuff that, we cover on a weekly basis. Now, last bit to answer Rashane's question, do you like this view better compared to Ableton? I think that it has a lot of potential. I think that it's a little bit jankety right now in its current form. That being said, I still have to learn how to use it. I'm much more fluid with using Ableton because it's existed longer. I've done it longer. But I think that this view is super promising, and I've already written stuff like on my own using that view, and I found it to be really useful. So, for me, Ableton, kind of the draw of it always, in addition to a couple of other things, also had to do with the, with the session view and the ability to have that access to that workflow. And I think that doing this has made it less likely that I'm going to open Ableton for my own, personal work as often. I still use Ableton all the time. It's just, it depends for the style of, production. Anyway, that's all the time that I got. So I really appreciate you guys tuning in. And, yeah, please tune in tomorrow for Theory Thursdays with Max, our founder. Excellent teacher. All right. So long.